क्या बोलते हो उसको? हेलो, क्या बोलते हो उसको? When the two strands are running opposite to each other.
बेस
बेस पेयरिंग तो होगा उनके बीच में, बट वो टिपिकल प्रॉपर्टी को क्या बोलते हैं? पैरेलल, एंटी पैरेलल. I think
एंटी
yeah, I had mentioned that the two strands of DNA are anti-parallel in nature. मतलब वो they run together but in a opposite direction. That's what they are saying ना कि 3 prime का जो end है that is beside 5 prime because the two strands are opposite to each other. Okay, so it is called as anti-parallel nature of the two strands. Okay, I mean now they have given all the typical dimensions of DNA. So I think this also you all know. 1 ton of a double helix of a DNA measures 34 angstrom. Okay, it consists of paired nucleotides and the distance between the two neighboring base pairs is 3.4 angstrom. Okay, and the diameter of the DNA, this is the diameter of DNA, is 20 angstrom, or you can say 2 nanometer. Okay, so this is all about the double stranded molecule of DNA which was studied by Watson and Crick and उनका structure दिया गया था. Now इसके आगे तुम लोग जब भी आगे पढ़ोगे, you will always consider Watson and Crick का model as a क्या बोलते हैं उसको एक as a model structure. Whenever we start studying DNA, Watson and Crick का जो model है उसको ही हम लोग consider करके बाकी सब structures का study करते हैं. Okay, and apart from this, there are actually few DNAs or actually few species I can say जो viruses है and bacteria है, okay, which actually do not contain a typical double-stranded linear DNA. So we all know bacteria के पास मतलब all the prokaryotes generally have a circular double-stranded DNA. Okay, but in case of bacteriophages, they contain a single-stranded DNA, and the one of such example is bacteriophage. उसका नाम है Phi 174. Phi into 174. This is the typical name of the bacteriophage. Do you know what is bacteriophage?
नो
Okay, so there are 3 types of viruses. Okay, जब भी हम लोग viruses की बात करते हैं, हम लोग 3 viruses types में उसको classify करते हैं. First, viruses which actually affects or infects animals. So those are called as animal viruses. Second, the animals which actually causes or infects plants. So those are called as plant viruses. And the third one are the viruses which actually infects the microorganisms, or to be more precise, bacteria. Okay, so the viruses which actually infects bacteria are called as bacteriophage or simply a phage. Okay, so that is what bacteriophage means. It is a virus that infects the bacteria. Okay, so that's why, and this particular viruses actually contains single-stranded DNA in their structure. Okay, so ये सब हो गया, but then there was a twist in a story. Watson and Crick ने सब मस्त अपना DNA का मॉडल प्रपोज किया, उनको नोबेल प्राइज मिला. Just imagine getting a Nobel Prize. I think that's the biggest honor in a life, and that's the biggest award one can get in the entire world. Basically, in the science and technology, we consider it as the like सबसे biggest achievement. ओके, तो ये दोनों को वो वॉटसन एंड क्रिक को वो नोबेल प्राइज वगैरह मिला. दे वर वेरी हैप्पी, सब हो गया. बट बाद में देयर वाज सम सरप्राइजिंग रिवीलेशन. ओके, सो व्हाट वाज द रिवीलेशन? सो ऐसा हुआ था कि वॉटसन एंड क्रिक ने एक्चुअली जो काम दिखाया था, या उनका दिमाग था, उन्होंने मॉडल को बनाया, बट द बेसिस ऑन विच दे कंस्ट्रक्टेड द मॉडल, दैट वाज नॉट एक्चुअली उनका खुद का काम. पीपल से उन्होंने चोरी किया था from someone else who was a scientist. Okay, so they had said that the experimental data जो भी था for the basis of this particular double strand of DNA was not given by Watson and Crick. Okay, they only analyzed. Okay, they only took the data and analyzed and computed the results. Okay, but ये सब के पीछे जिसने एक्चुअल में एक्सपेरिमेंट्स परफॉर्म किए थे, her name was Rosalind Franklin and M. Wilkins. So these were the 2 ladies who were actually involved in the investigation, or we can say discovery of a DNA, but they never got their rewards, or we can say they never got appreciation. It was after some time when Watson and Crick had revealed the fact, and then सबको पता चला कि yeah, even the Rosalind Franklin and the M. Wilkins are equally important in a discovery of DNA. Yeah, so this is just a story. Okay, what you need to keep in mind, yeah, जो इसका एक्सपेरिमेंटल देखा था, डीएनए का जो स्ट्रक्चर प्रपोज किया था, दैट वाज ऑन अ बेसिस ऑफ एक्स-रे क्रिस्टलोग्राफी. प्लीज नोट इट डाउन, स्पेशली द नीट किड्स. ओके, डीएनए का स्ट्रक्चर वाज discovered based on a X-ray crystallography technique. Okay, so it is important technique, and the data was actually collected by Franklin and Wilkins, but उसको analyze किया था and the structure propose किया था Watson and Crick. So that's all about the double-stranded DNA model given by Watson and Crick. So if you are having any kind of doubt, any questions right now, you can ask. If no, then I will continue. कुछ क्वेश्चन, कुछ पूछना है, कुछ
सर वो
बताना है?
स्टेटमेंट रिपीट करो ना. DNA is
DNA is,
based on which?
yeah, so the structure of DNA was actually discovered based on the X-ray crystallographic data or a technique. X-ray crystallography data और technique. So ये मतलब उन्होंने कैसे जाना ना कि मॉडल डबल स्टैंडर्ड है, उसके बीच में बेस पेयरिंग है, एक उल्टा है एक सीधा है, वो कैसे जाना? तो ये सब डेटा, ये सब एक्सपेरिमेंट्स ऑलरेडी परफॉर्म किए थे रोजालिंड फ्रैंकलिन ने. सो उसने वो कैसे किया था रोजालिंड फ्रैंकलिन ने? शी वाज द वन हु हैड यूज्ड द एक्स-रे क्रिस्टलोग्राफी टेक्निक टू प्रूव दिस ऑल थिंग्स. ओके, उसके बाद इन दोनों ने उसको लेके दे एनालाइज, दे प्रपोज द मॉडल. दैट्स द डिफरेंट स्टोरी. बट देन द बेसिस, जिसके बेसिस पे हमने अभी बोल रहे हैं कि डीएनए इज डबल स्टैंडर्ड, दैट इज फ्रॉम द, लाइक दैट इज द आउटपुट ऑफ एक्स-रे क्रिस्टलोग्राफिक डेटा. ओके,
Yes sir.
yeah, anything else? Yeah, yesterday one question was there, Ajinkya. Is he here? No. Yeah.
Hello sir. Hello sir.
बोला, बोल.
Last ला विचारतो last ला.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so don't worry. Yeah, you can ask me at last. So now let's continue with the next topic जो हमने कल start किया था, enzymes. But before that, there was few confusions. I think Anuj was asking about the question, basically जैसे हम लोग numerical solve कैसे करेंगे.
Yes, sir.
So before solving or before understanding any DNA basis का information, तुम लोग को 3 points तो पता ही होने चाहिए. सबसे पहला the Chargaff's rule, जो बोलता है कि purines and pyrimidines will be equal. Second, about the dimensions of the DNA. So you need to know कि okay, दो base pairs के बीच में 0.34 नैनोमीटर है या फिर कैसे. Okay, and उसके बाद the third most important is about the codons के basis पे. Okay, now what is codon? So codon is nothing but a set of 3 nucleotides. We all know what is nucleotide. What is nucleotide? क्या होते हैं nucleotide के components?
Ribosome and RNA.
हाँ, sorry, वापस Sharon. क्या बोला तुमने Sharon? Please repeat. Nucleotide किससे?
Ribosome.
Ribo. I'm sorry, I'm not able to hear you properly. Please be loud.
Ribosome.
Nucleotide में ribosome कैसे आएगा Sharon?
Sir, nucleotide contains sugar and phosphate.
Yeah, which sugar?
Sir,
Ribose sugar.
हाँ, right.
DNA का nucleotide कौन सा sugar रहेगा?
Phosphate.
Sir, phosphate sugar.
No, I got your point.
Ribose sugar.
Deoxyribose sugar.
Yeah, thank you very much जिसने भी ये बोला. मुझे बताओ तुम लोगों ने वो RNA and DNA का difference लिखा क्या?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
तो जिसने लिखा जरा अपना हाथ उठाओ, देखूं तो मुझे किसने लिखा है. Because this is shocking. तुम लोग phosphate sugar बोल रहे हो, क्या बोल रहे हो?
नहीं हो रहे.
Okay, so there is some issue. Don't worry. Okay. किसको पूछूं या whoever, let's, जिसने लिखा है प्लीज read at least one, okay, then one by one I will ask you. So सबसे पहले start, whoever knows. First important difference between DNA and RNA.
DNA is double
DNA is
standard and
and
RNA is single standard.
Very good. Now second, Ajinkya, yeah, one by one.
सर डीएनए में पेरिमेडिन जो होता है ना वो साइटोसिन और थायमाइन होता है, और आरएनए में जो होता है वो यूरेसिल और साइटोसिन।
Very good. Next, Sharon.
deoxyribose sugar is present in DNA and in RNA ribose sugar is present.
Very good. Now Asta. No Asta? Yeah, Anush, say.
Sir, DNA is present in nucleus and RNA is present in nucleus and cytoplasm.
Yeah, good. Anything else? और कुछ बचा है?
Sir, DNA has a double
Total
helix
number of
structure
purine is
and
equal to
RNA
total.
does not have.
Yes. So DNA follows the Chargaff's rule. RNA follows.
Hello, sir.
RNA does. Yeah, RNA do not follow the Chargaff's rule. Sorry for that. Yeah.
तो
So
सर
this. हाँ बोलो.
सर डीएनए में स्पेसिफिक बेस पेयरिंग इज ऑब्जर्व्ड है और आरएनए में नाइट्रोजन बेसेस डू नॉट फॉर्म पेयर.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So that's all.
DNA is responsible for heredity and RNA is responsible for protein synthesis.
Very good. और कुछ?
सर स्ट्रक्चर में डिफरेंस है ना उसके, और टू सेकेंड वाले पोजीशन पे डीएनए में हाइड्रोजन है और आरएनए में OH है, हाइड्रोक्सी।
Yeah. So उसे ही हम लोग बोलते हैं deoxyribose sugar is present in
Yes.
DNA and ribose sugar is present in RNA. So good. So at least you are following. So that's good. So now when we say nucleotide, which is a single monomer of a DNA or RNA. So in case of DNA, now I'm talking in terms of DNA. ये भी जो भी मैं questions डाल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, that is based on DNA. Okay. So here the nucleotide consists of the pentose sugar, which can be ribose in RNA and deoxyribose in case of DNA, the phosphate group and the nitrogenous base. ये तीनों मिलके जब एक साथ आएंगे, bonding बनाएंगे, they will form a nucleotide. Okay. So such kind of nucleotides will be connected to each other by which bonds? Which bonds connect the nucleotides to each other?
Phosphodiester bond.
Very good. So it is phosphodiester bonds which will connect the nucleotides and they will form a polynucleotide. So now what is codon? So codon is a set of 3 nucleotides. Okay. फिर उसके बाद now what is codon? Codon is something which actually codes for a particular amino acid. It actually a kind of language. It is a DNA language. हम लोग बोलते हैं DNA language, which contains a message. So each codon, okay, each codon which codes for a specific amino acids. We know there are 20 amino acids. So there are different codons which will actually code for 20 amino acids. Okay, then there are two main types of codon जो मैंने कल भी डिस्कस किए थे, start codon और initiator codon, which actually shows that the codon which is present at the start of a mRNA. Start of the mRNA बोले तो at the 5' end, because we all know mRNA runs in 5' to 3' direction. Okay, now there is also something called as stop codon, which is also called as nonsense codon or a termination codon. So these are the codons which generally does not code for any amino acid. तो जैसे ये कोडॉन आ जाएगा कोई भी mRNA में, the protein synthesis process will stop immediately. Okay, so this is just a background. Now उसके बाद now you have to keep this typical formula or statement, whatever you take it as, very clear. इसका मतलब क्या है? एक कोडॉन will code for 1 amino acid and 1 codon actually includes 3 nucleotides. So this is a equation you can say you need to keep in mind. So मैंने कल question पूछा था अनुज, if I am having a protein which contains 60 amino acids, then what will be the number of codons and what will be the number of nucleotides? Yes, Anuj, now do you tell me?
हेलो, यस सर क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है सर, कैसे क्या करने का है?
ओके, तो मैंने बोला कि मेरे पास प्रोटीन है, प्रोटीन कितना अमीनो एसिड से बना है? 60.
60, yes.
Yeah, so now what is your first point now here? The protein contains 60 amino acids.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
now
sir.
I am telling you that 1 amino acid का मतलब है 1 codon.
Yes, 1 codon.
हाँ, so now if I am having 60 amino acids, तो मेरे पास कितने कोडॉन्स रहेंगे?
तो सर 60 कोडॉन ना?
Yeah, very good. So now you will be having 60 codons.
Yes,
and
sir.
one codon contains 3 nucleotides. So it means how many nucleotides you will be having?
सर 60 into 3
Very good. तो
180.
कितना होगा? 180.
180. Yes.
180.
Okay. So that's what I was trying to explain yesterday. I hope तुम्हें अभी समझा है.
Yes sir, समझा सर.
Very good.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Yeah, anytime. Anyone else? कुछ doubts है, कुछ पूछना है based on this? Okay. So I think there is no doubt, so I will continue. So उसके बाद we had started talking about the enzymes. I had told you the basics of enzymes. वो कैसे है, उसका क्या है, properties discuss किया था हम. So nature discuss किया था that it is a proteinaceous in nature. It is there can be simple protein, there can be conjugated enzymes. Conjugated रहेगा तो there are 3 factors which can be there. Coenzyme हो सकता है, cofactor हो सकता है, या फिर activator हो सकता है. Now let's move forward and see what is now next. So now let's start studying the properties of the enzyme. अभी हम लोग को 3 पॉइंट पता चल गए. Enzymes क्या है? Enzymes are biocatalysts. They catalyze the specific reactions in our body. They themselves do not get used up in a reaction, but they increase the rate of reaction. उसके बाद we had seen the nature of the enzymes, which includes they are proteinaceous in nature mostly, and there are 2 types basically, proteinaceous enzymes and conjugated enzymes. Then we had seen the different positive groups, and now it's time to study the properties of enzymes कि वो क्या है. Okay, so it includes proteinaceous nature, जो कि हमने already discuss किया था. All the there was actually a universal phrase few years back that all the enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzyme. I repeat, all the enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. This was a very typical statement which was actually used universally because like 99% enzymes are proteins in nature. But then few more studies were conducted and people found that there is an exception. The exception का नाम था ribozyme. Ribozyme is nothing but RNA or can say ribosomes which actually catalyze a particular reaction. So even they are not enzymes, but they are kind of nucleic acid. Like RNA is nucleic acid. So still, even though they are not a protein, they were able to catalyze a particular reaction. And this gave a big exception to the typical statement जो मैंने अभी बोला, all the enzymes are proteins, but all proteins are not enzymes. Now we cannot say that all the enzymes are proteins because there are enzymes, for example, ribozymes, which is not really a protein in nature. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is not given in your book, especially about the ribozyme part, but I am telling you because it is very much common question in your entrance exam. So note it down. Now that is the first property. It is proteinaceous in nature. Exception is ribozyme. Now they have a 3-dimensional conformation. Which part of the protein or which structure of the protein actually shows the 3-dimensional conformation? You remember, there are different structure, primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary, when we talk about proteins. तो proteins का कौन सा structure है जो 3-dimensional form में रहता है? प्राइमरी होता है या सेकेंडरी होता है?
Tertiary.
Very good. It is tertiary structure of protein which actually have a 3-dimensional conformation. So mostly all the enzyme, like all the proteins generally prefer to be in a tertiary structure because यहाँ पे it have a particular conformation. So not all the part is exposed to the external part. तो मतलब stable होता है. Okay. So all the enzymes are actually having a 3-dimensional conformation, and in this 3-dimensional conformation, उनका structure ऐसे arrange किया जाता है so that few of the particular sites of this particular enzymes are actually present on the surface and are exposed to the outer environment. Okay, so these sites are mainly called as active sites. I repeat, it is called as active sites. Now, why active sites and what is it? Because it is a site to which a substrate comes and binds. So active site is a site where the reactant or you can say substrate will come and bind. Okay, one enzyme can have only one active site or it can have multiple active site, depends. Okay, but these are the only sites जहाँ पे substrate and enzyme can interact. ऐसे ही कहीं से भी आके इंटरेक्शन नहीं होता है. It can only interact at a active site. Okay, the next important point about the active site is like, even within the active site, it's not like the entire active site. Obviously, it is a big door. We can say it's a big door and you are entering inside. Okay, but when you are entering inside the door, it's not like कि तुम लोग का पूरा body is in a contact with the door का जो skeleton है. You are only in contact with a particular point. Okay, particular site. You can say तुम लोग ground वाले side से हम लोग door पे पैर दे सकते हैं. So that is actually point of contact for us. Okay, similar case here also. The points of active sites, मतलब जहाँ पे enzyme से interact कर रहा है, where the substrate joins the enzyme, it is called as substrate binding site. So you can think as एक घर है, घर का door है. Okay, door is nothing but the active site. Okay, but even in the active site there is only particular part of the active site. मतलब door का भी only particular part जहाँ पे हम लोग मतलब जहाँ से हम लोग actually enter मतलब हम लोग जो enter करें तो actually contact में आते हैं. So that part, such part of the active site is called as a substrate binding site. I hope you understood what is active site and what is substrate binding site. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now the third important property of the enzyme is its catalytic property. And I think that is one of the very important property because of which the enzymes have gained a lot of attention in last 2 decades. Right? What is catalytic property? It is a property in which actually influences the speed of a biochemical reaction. उसको fast करता है. But themselves remain unchanged. मतलब वो खुद उसमें इंटरैक्ट नहीं करते. इंटरैक्ट से मतलब उनमें कुछ कन्वर्जन नहीं होता. जैसे हम लोग को पता है ये पर्टिकुलर रिएक्टेंट से प्रोडक्ट बनता है. अगर इट्स रिवर्सिबल, प्रोडक्ट से वापस से रिएक्टेंट बनता है. बट देन इन दिस केस whenever enzyme is present in reaction, it will help in a conversion, transformation of particular reactant, particular substrate. But it itself will not get transformed into any other form. So it will remain unchanged. Okay. Very interestingly, we do not require a very large amount of enzyme. A very small quantity of enzyme can perform a very big reactions. Okay. So it was like noted that for example, अगर sucrase है, sucrase is an enzyme which will break down the sucrose. Okay. So sucrase can actually hydrolyze around 1 lakh times more sucrose as compared to its own weight. Now, if you just try to understand the statement, you will understand कि मतलब even if I am using micrograms of the sucrase, that will be sufficient enough to break down a large amount of substrate. So that is we can say the beauty of the enzyme. बहुत कम amount में लगते हैं but काम एकदम मस्त करते हैं. So that's why they are very important in a biological reaction. Now fourth important property of an enzyme is about the specificity of the enzyme. ऐसा नहीं है कि मेरे बॉडी में एक ही एंजाइम है और वो एक ही एंजाइम सबका मालिक एक बन के सब रिएक्शंस को कंट्रोल कर रहा है. नो, that is not the condition. For each and every reaction happening in our body, there is a specific single enzyme. Okay, you will find different groups. I will talk about it on later slide. Okay, you will find that 50 enzyme का एक group है. They can have a similar properties, but they cannot have a similar function. Or I can to be more precise, same function. Similar तो भी हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि हो सकता है, but same function नहीं होता है. I hope you understand the meaning between same and similar. Right? Same मतलब exactly same function. जैसा हो वैसा ही होना चाहिए. Similar मतलब थोड़ा उससे close हो सकता है. थोड़ा बहुत similarities होते हैं, but it's not like exactly same kind of. Okay. So that is another special property of the enzyme, that it is very much specific in its action. Okay. They will act upon a specific substrate only or a specific group of a substrate. मतलब शायद वो एंटायर ग्लूकोज पे एक्ट कर सकता है या फिर ग्लूकोज तो कोई तो एक बॉन्ड पे एक्ट कर सकता है. तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच टाइप ऑफ एंजाइम इट इज, इट विल डिसाइड इट्स एक्शन. ओके. एंड दिस एंजाइम्स का जो एक्शन होता है दैट इज वेरी मच स्पेसिफिक टू देयर. वी विल आल्सो टॉक अबाउट द स्पेसिफिसिटी एट अ लेटर पॉइंट, जहाँ पे हम लोग few models पढ़ेंगे exactly how the enzymes are working. But for now, it's you need to understand this fact that they are very specific in their action. Okay, and उनका ये action बोलते हैं या फिर activity जो हम लोग बोलते हैं enzymatic activity basically is dependent on very much like different factors. They are very sensitive, okay, because they are proteins. Like almost all of them are proteins. So they are proteins, so that's why they are very sensitive. ऐसे ही हम लोग कैसे भी उसको कहीं भी रख नहीं सकते, कहीं पे भी स्टोर नहीं कर सकते, कैसे भी हैंडल नहीं कर सकते. There is a particular rules and regulations to handle a particular enzyme. Okay, because they are very much sensitive to the different environmental parameters, very importantly temperature and pH. Okay, talking to the first part about the pH. So all the enzymes are not like, we all know pH range कहाँ से कहाँ तक होता है normal pH. मतलब जब भी हम लोग किसी भी चीज का pH के बारे में पढ़ते, what is pH basically?
एसिडिटी है क्या बेसिक है?
Okay, you need to find out acidity है या basic है. तो there is some range ना, pH scale होता है और वो scale पे range होता है.
Yes.
7 तक एसिड एंड 7 के बाद बेस.
7 से बाद 50 तक होता है या कहाँ तक होता है?
14.
Yes, very good. So it is 0 to 14 generally we consider. 0 to 7 is acidic. 0 to 6.5 generally we consider acidic. और फिर 7 is neutral.
न्यूट्रल.
And then उसके आगे वापस basic चालू होता है.
Basic.
That's correct. So depending on, ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई भी एंजाइम कोई भी इस पे अपना काम करेगा. No. Depending on कौन सा pH है, the enzyme shows a very specific action. तो इट माइट बी लाइक ओके, तुम लोग के पास एकदम प्रॉपर सबस्ट्रेट है, तुम लोग के पास एकदम प्रॉपर एंजाइम है, और तुम लोग रिएक्शन कर रहे हो. रिएक्शन के लिए तुमने दोनों भी ऐड किया है, यू आर सीइंग, क्योंकि कुछ भी हो नहीं रहा है, बट यू आर नॉट एबल टू सी एनी काइंड ऑफ प्रोडक्ट फॉर्मेशन. व्हाई? देन आफ्टर सम टाइम यू विल फाइंड आउट कि ओके, जो तुम लोग का जहाँ पे तुम लोग रिएक्शन करवा रहे थे, that solution is having some pH which is not really favorable for that enzyme's activity. Okay, it means that that enzyme will not work in such conditions. So we need to take a very extreme care कि जब भी हम लोग कोई भी enzyme use कर रहे हैं, we need to make sure कि उसका properties क्या है, वो कौन से temperature पे stable है, वो कौन से pH पे stable है, उसका activity कब सबसे ज़्यादा है, कब सबसे कम है. All these parameters needs to be considered whenever we are working with the enzymes. Okay, so that's why studying about pH is an important fact. So as I mentioned, each enzyme, okay, each and every enzyme basically exhibits its highest activity, or let's say maximum activity, at a specific pH, and that pH is called as optimum pH. What is optimum pH? It is a pH at which the enzyme shows its maximum activity. मतलब सबसे high, बहुत ज़्यादा activity होता है. Okay, then any increase or let's say decrease in a pH can affect the activity of the enzyme. It can either increase or not increase, mostly it will be decrease only, because increase तो होगा नहीं, increase होने की chance नहीं, because maximum activity तो उसका optimum P होने वाला है. So any increase or decrease in the pH will always cause a decline in the activity of an enzyme. For example, enzyme pepsin जो हमारे stomach में रहता है. अभी stomach में रहता है मतलब we all know our stomach contains acid. Which acid? Which acid is present in our stomach?
HCl.
Yeah, HCl. Full form क्या है?
हाइड्रोक्लोरिक एसिड.
Very good. So it is HCl which is present in our stomach, and that maintains the acidity of our stomach, which actually have a very specific function. Why our body contains HCl? Any idea? या फिर क्यों, उसका क्या फंक्शन है उसका? अगर मैंने उसको बेस कर दिया चलेगा क्या? कुछ तो उसका फंक्शन होगा ना. Why we need acidic pH in the stomach? Any idea? Okay, so it's basically first function तो जो enzymes वहाँ पे है, that those requires acidic pH. Secondly, this acidity of the stomach and stomach का जो gastric juice है उसकी helps in breaking down of multiple products, like जो complicated रहते हैं polymers उसको breaking में भी support करते हैं. On other hand, they actually helps in a killing of microorganisms which might not be गुड फॉर योर हेल्थ. तो कभी कभी हम लोग कुछ भी रास्ते से खा लेते हैं, कैसे भी मतलब कहीं से भी कुछ भी खाते हैं. समटाइम वॉट एवर वी ईट इज नॉट लाइक ऑलवेज हाइजीनिक. समटाइम वी टेंड टू, मतलब हम लोगों को टेम्पटेशन होता है कि अरे हाँ आज वड़ा पाव खाना है, मतलब सो वी टेंड टू इट. It's not like all the processes are unhygienic, but then sometimes it might happen. So we don't know. Maybe there are some kind of contamination in the water, on the roads, food and all, whatever. So such condition. ऐसा नहीं कि तुमने हमेशा कभी कुछ तो पहले ही खाया and तुम बीमार हो गए. No, your body gives its best. तो जो body का जो हम लोग का gastric juice है, if any such kind of microbes or let's say infectious agents are present in such kind of food, they will be killed by this acidic condition in a stomach. But अगर उससे भी नहीं हो पाया, then only your body starts showing some kind of symptoms like fever आ रहा है, coughing हो रहा है, ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है. So that is the second stage. But उससे पहले हमारा acidic pH of a stomach helps to kill such bacteria or any other infectious agent. So that is again one of the important function. Okay, so that is something extra I told you. But again, let's come back to our point that enzymes will work only at a specific pH. और उसके अलावा उसका एक्टिविटी कम हो जाता है. An example is a pepsin which is created in a stomach which shows highest activity at an optimum pH of 2 because there is a acidic activity in the stomach. Okay. Another example is trypsin which is released in duodenum. What is duodenum? कौन से part, कौन से?
Intestine.
Yeah, it is. Duodenum is the intestine का first part. What are other two parts of intestine?
Duodenum, ileum,
Jejunum
jejunum.
and ileum.
Very good. So it's DJI, right? Duodenum, jejunum, ileum. It's so here now the pH, now it is not having any acidic kind of thing. So here the enzyme will be most active at an optimum pH of 9.5, which is alkaline. Just see within the same system, within the same digestive tract, even there is a variation in a pH because वहाँ पे enzymes जो है उनको काम करने के लिए वो pH जरूरी है. So स्टमक के लिए 2 से 3 का होता है, इंटेस्टाइन में 9.5. Okay, but depending on the function क्या है. So even though you can find out what pepsin and trypsin, these enzymes are actually protein digesting enzyme. No, दोनों का भी काम क्या है, प्रोटीन को डाइजेस्ट करना है, but उनका मोड ऑफ एक्शन, उनका प्रॉपर्टीज आर completely different. Okay, next important property, like we can say, or a factor which actually affects the enzyme is temperature. Okay, so because I said enzymes are proteins mostly, so obviously proteins get denatured at a higher temperature. So even enzymes will get destroyed at a higher temperature, which is mostly about 60 degrees Celsius, 60 to 70 degrees Celsius के above enzymes कुछ काम नहीं करते and they get completely denatured. Okay, and they lose their functional activity. Okay, but sometimes it's not like कि ये जो उसका activity loss हो रहा है that is permanent. So this sometimes this inactive state of enzymes is temporary, and whenever we give back the optimum conditions, the enzyme may take back its original properties और फिर से काम करना चालू कर दे. But this is not applicable everywhere. Sometimes the enzyme can completely lose its entire activity और फिर वो कुछ काम करने होता फेंकना पड़ता है. So but in this case that is not the thing. There are also conditions जहाँ पे reversible property can be reversed. Then also, as we know, there is an optimum pH. In a similar way, there is something called as optimum temperature, which is nothing but the temperature at which the enzyme show maximum activity. Okay, optimum pH मतलब pH at which the enzyme show maximum activity. Optimum temperature मतलब the temperature at which the enzyme shows maximum activity. Okay, and for most of the enzymes, the optimum temperature is between 20 degrees Celsius to 35 degrees Celsius. इसके बाद this is range. Now depending on कि वो कौन सा enzyme है, उसका function क्या है, वो कहाँ पे present है, उसका optimum temperature will differ. Now tell me if a particular enzyme is present in our body, उसका क्या रहेगा optimum temperature? Enzymes in our body, उसका क्या रहेगा optimum temperature? What is the
35
normal?
degrees Celsius.
35, yeah. What is our temperature of our body?
35 to 37.
Yeah, it is 35 to 37, mostly 37 होता है. So these are the temperature at which all the enzymes in our body functions well. Okay, so that's all about the properties. So you need to keep in mind there are 4 important properties. क्या क्या था? They are proteinaceous in nature. They have a 3-dimensional conformation. They possess catalytic property. They are specific in their action, and they easily get affected by pH and temperature. इतना clear है?
Yes.
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 Okay. Now moving ahead. So now let's talk about कि as I mentioned बहुत सारे enzymes हैं, मतलब starting from bacteria, viruses to human beings, सबके पास बहुत सारे enzymes हैं, and it becomes difficult to talk about these enzymes अगर हम लोग उसको properly classify and उसको properly nomenclature ना दे, मतलब उसको नाम ना दे. अगर कुछ नाम ही नहीं पता रहेगा तो it becomes very difficult, right? So in a similar way, even so that's why there are multiple attempts which were taken up by the scientific community जहाँ पे उन्होंने enzymes को नाम देने का plan out किया. Okay, so now they said कि we need to give some kind of format, but then कैसे होता था? इंडिया में someone is giving in a different format, पाकिस्तान में कोई और दे रहा है, यूएसए में कोई और, यूके में कोई और, so that becomes more complicated. So we will now try to understand कि इन्होंने कैसे एक common platform choose किया to give a name to this particular enzymes. Okay, but before getting the common platform जहाँ पे सब लोगों ने अपना अपना like एक common नाम accept किया, before that what was the case that we will discuss now. Okay, so there are multiple ways to name a particular enzymes. Okay, there are 3 important ways which I am currently discussing here. Very first one is like enzymes can be named by adding the suffix "ase." Okay, you can see the suffix "ase", that is ASE. हम लोग हर enzyme के at last end में डालते हैं, हाँ, and that is added at the end of the name of the substrate. तो let's say मेरे पास सुक्रोज है, तो I will add सुक्रोज का name सुक्रोज plus S सुक्रेज. प्रोटीन से तो प्रोटीन प्लस एस प्रोटीएज, न्यूक्लियस प्लस एस न्यूक्लियस, maltose plus S maltase, lipids plus S lipids. That's the way they started naming the enzyme by adding the suffix S. Okay, which was initially known that the breakdown करता है, enzymes are generally involved in breaking down, but that is not really the case everywhere. Enzymes are not always involved in breaking down the stuff, they are also involved in making up the stuff. So but then all this information was बोलते ना evolved with time. एक साथ सब नहीं समझा था, with time जैसे हमने उसको और स्टडी किया था और उसके बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन निकाला, we got to know more about such things. The second attempt जहाँ पे they said that the enzymes can be named according to the type of the function they perform. Right, मतलब you know there are some reactions happening in our body. There is a oxidation, there is a reduction, there is a we can say transfer of particular group, breaking down, addition of water group, removal of water group, different kind of reactions which are happening in our body, right? So based on this function, they started naming the enzymes. So very common examples like dehydrogenase, which removes the hydrogen. Okay, so which reaction will dehydrogenase catalyze?
Oxidation reaction.
Very good. It will catalyze the oxidation reaction. Then there is like carboxylase, which will add the carbon CO, that is a carbon monoxide to the particular group. Sorry, I'm sorry. It should be carbon dioxide. I'm sorry. Okay, carboxylase मतलब जहाँ पे हम लोग कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को ऐड करते हैं, उसका उल्टा है डिकार्बोक्सिलेज जहाँ पे हम लोग कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को रिमूव करते हैं. Okay, then there are again reductase, oxidase, which helps in oxidation reduction type of reactions. Okay, so that is based on the nomenclature of enzyme. Now, sorry, that is based on the function of the enzyme. I'm sorry. The third important way in which they have tried to name the enzymes is on based on their sources. Okay, so there are multiple natural things which are present and they are actually at the source of different enzymes. Few examples if I want to give: papaya contains the enzyme papain, okay, which is also very commonly used for protein degradation. Then there is something called as bromelain, which is an enzyme which is present in a pineapple, which are again involved in a protein degradation. So these are all the basically enzymes which are present in the natural sources, and based on their source, they were named as a papain, bromelain, and like that. So there are multiple such examples, but they just have given few for your information. But now you can see ना it is very confusing. कोई उसको S बोल रहा है, कोई S नॉमेनक्लेचर दे रहा है, कोई फंक्शन पे दे रहा है, कोई सोर्स पे दे रहा है. अभी सोर्स को भी अभी हमने पेपेन बोल दिया बिकॉज पपाया हम लोग बोलते हैं, बट मे बी पपाया may be known as known, maybe people use some other names in other countries for papaya, so it makes confusion, right? So to overcome all these problems, they come up with a one standard format, okay, and it was given by the International Code of Enzyme Nomenclature, which is a universal, we can say, organization जो ये सब handle करता है. So according to them, the name of the enzyme should contains two components, okay. It should end with the term like the suffix s and also consist of the double name, okay. तो मतलब क्या, हर एक एंजाइम के नाम में दो वर्ड्स रहेंगे और उसका जो एक वर्ड रहेगा दैट विल बी एंडिंग विद द एस, ओके. नाउ ये जो दो वर्ड्स की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ वो कौन से रहेंगे फिर, ओके. So the first name of this particular enzyme name indicates the nature of a substrate upon which the enzyme is going to act, okay. For example, जैसे कि हमने देखा था कि सुक्रोज एक्ट हो रहा है सुक्रोज पे, तो सुक्रोज वैसे, तो it will find out or it will be based on the nature of a substrate on which the enzyme is acting on. And the second word जो रहेगा nomenclature में, that will be based on the reaction it is catalyzing, okay. So for example, let's say pyruvic decarboxylase, ये एक एंजाइम का नाम है, pyruvic decarboxylase. Now what do you understand from these two words? First one is pyruvic, first name क्या होगा, और substrate upon which the enzyme is acting at. So it means the enzyme is acting on a pyruvic acid, which is a substrate. And the second word क्या आ रहा है यहाँ पे, decarboxylase. मतलब second word क्या indicate करता है, the reaction it is catalyzing. So the word pyruvic decarboxylase or the enzyme pyruvic decarboxylase is an enzyme that actually catalyzes the removal of carbon dioxide from the substrate pyruvic acid. Okay, in a similar way now you will find many more such names जो अभी हम लोग यूज करते हैं and currently applicable universally, हर जगह पे universally same नाम यूज किए जाते हैं. So with this, tell me what do you understand by the name glutamate pyruvate transaminase? इसमें glutamate pyruvate क्या इंडिकेट करता है और transaminase क्या इंडिकेट करता है?
ग्लूटामेट में एंजाइम एक्ट हो रहा है और पाइरुवेट में अमाइन ट्रांसफर हो रहा है.
Very good. So you should look at the reaction first. Transaminase, it means कि वहाँ पे ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, किसका हो रहा है, अमाइनेज मतलब अमाइनो ग्रुप का. It means there is a transfer of amino group from glutamate to pyruvate, and that's why the enzyme is named as glutamate pyruvate transaminase. Okay, इतना समझा? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's about the nomenclature part. Now let's come to the classification part of the enzyme. जितने भी एंजाइम्स हैं अपने पास में ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, ऑल ओवर द लाइक जितना भी नेचर में है, बैक्टीरिया से लेके ह्यूमन बींग्स से लेके, मतलब ऑल द डिफरेंट क्लासेस ऑफ द एनिमल्स, प्लांट्स, अदर माइक्रोब्स, सबका मिला के जितने भी एंजाइम्स हैं हम लोग उसको 6 क्लासेस में डिवाइड करते हैं. It is also done by the International Union only. Basically, we all know there is a IUPAC for chemical compounds and also similar way even for biological purposes there are different international organizations जो ये सब काम करते हैं, जहाँ पे members from different countries आते हैं, they make a union and they do all this kind of work. Okay, so based on that the enzymes are classified into 6 major classes. It includes oxidoreductase, transferases, hydrolase, lyases, isomerases, ligases or synthetases. Okay, now with name only, if you just try to understand oxidoreductases, मतलब all the enzymes which catalyze the oxidation reduction reactions. Transferases, all the enzymes which catalyzes the transfer of different group. जैसे कि हमने देखा in the last example, what was getting transferred? Amino group. So it was transaminase. Okay, so similarly there can be any other group transferase. So ऐसे अलग-अलग groups को हम लोग transfer कर सकते हैं and that can be done by the enzyme transferases. Then comes hydrolysis, जहाँ पे हम लोग water add करके break down करते हैं the particular for a particular compound, we just do a breakdown using a, you can see, a hydrolytic reaction जहाँ पे हम लोग water add करके कुछ ना कुछ breakdown की कोशिश करते हैं. Then comes lysis, जहाँ पे हम लोग नए bonds बनाते हैं. Okay, isomerases, it includes conversion of different things. We all know what is isomers. It is a compounds. These are the compounds which actually have a same molecular formula but different structural formula. So as we know, they are having a different structural formula. So we can actually interconvert the structures. So that is this work is or this function is done by the enzyme isomerase. And the last one is like ligases, which is also the enzymes which are actually involved in a bond formation. Okay. Now we will go one by one and try to understand what is like what actually the function they are doing. You मैंने already लोगों को explain कर दिया है, but now we will try to understand them with different examples. Okay, so very first one is the oxidoreductase. As I mentioned, these are the enzymes that catalyze the oxidation reduction reactions. Okay, and how this particular reaction, what do you understand by oxidation reaction? Oxidation or reduction reaction? पहले oxidation बताओ. What do you understand by oxidation?
Addition of oxygen.
Okay.
Removal of hydrogen.
Removal of hydrogen.
That's the second.
Loss of
Electronegative.
electrons.
Yeah, loss of electrons. One more is there.
Increase in oxidation number.
Increase in
Very
oxidation number,
good. So
yes.
these are the four important definitions of oxidation. और इसका completely ulta is a reduction. So it includes
Removal of
removal of oxygen,
oxygen.
addition of
Addition of
Hydrogen.
reduction of
Gain of
oxygen state,
Gain of
and
electrons.
gain of electrons. Okay. So such kind of reactions are catalyzed by the oxidoreductase enzyme. Okay, and one of the very good example of such kind of reaction, such kind of enzyme is a alcohol dehydrogenase. You will find multiple dehydrogenases the time we will start studying the respiration and photosynthesis chapter, जहाँ पे हम लोग different pathways समझेंगे, उसको कैसे परफॉर्म होते हुए देखेंगे. So there you will find out each and every reaction taking place. वो glycolysis हो सकता है, Krebs cycle हो सकता है, electron transport system हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है. All of them are basically involved in a particular, like they are basically showing presence of different enzymes, and most commonly dehydrogenases are there. Okay, so now they have given the example of alcohol dehydrogenase, जिसका काम है अल्कोहल को dehydrogenase मतलब क्या कर रहा है, वो ऑक्सीडाइज कर रहा है. तो अल्कोहल को अगर हम ट्रीट करेंगे विद अल्कोहल dehydrogenase, it will form aldehyde, and the hydrogens which are actually removed from alcohol are taken up by the coenzyme NAD+, which is a nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide, and it will form the coenzyme NADH2, which can be further processed. Okay, now tell me, अगर मैं aldehyde को वापस से ऑक्सीडाइज करूँ तो क्या बनेगा? If I treat the aldehyde with other kind of dehydrogenase, तो मुझे क्या मिलेगा as a product? अगर मैंने अल्कोहल को हाइड्रोलाइज अगर मैंने अल्कोहल को ऑक्सीडाइज किया, इट गिव्स मी अल्डिहाइड. अगर मैंने अल्डिहाइड को ऑक्सीडाइज किया, इट विल गिव मी व्हाट? Okay, it will give you carboxylic acid. Okay, so alcohol on oxidation gives aldehydes, aldehydes on oxidation gives carboxylic acid. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Now the next class of the enzyme, as I mentioned, transferases. These are the enzymes that catalyze the transfer of certain groups between the two molecules. The very common example जो हमने देखा already, glutamate, pyruvate, transaminase वाला. There are multiple such examples. One of such example is like transfer of phosphate group. So this is a very important and the first reaction of glycolysis. Do you have example there? The glucose plus ATP giving us glucose 6-phosphate plus ADP. This is the first reaction of glycolysis. जहाँ पे this reaction is called as phosphorylation, by the way, and it is catalyzed by the enzyme glucokinase. Its job is to take up the phosphate from the ATP and transfer it to the glucose at the 6th position. That's why the reaction states like glucose plus ATP gives us glucose 6-phosphate plus ADP. Now the ADP will again get recycled and आगे process होगा. That's a different thing. And the glucose 6-phosphate then undergo isomerization. It forms fructose 6-phosphate, then it forms fructose 1,6-bisphosphate, and like that at the end you get pyruvate. I don't want to go in detail about the glycolysis right now because you will study that in a different chapter. But try to understand कि हम लोग का मोटो क्या है, यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, फॉस्फेट का ट्रांसफर हो रहा है and the transfer is done by the enzyme glucokinase. Now the third type of enzyme is a hydrolysis, which includes basically these are the enzymes that catalyze the hydrolytic reaction. Okay, मतलब it will break down the enzyme, it will break down the particular compound with the addition of water. So this class includes different enzymes like amylases, proteases, lipases, etc. Example is sucrase, जो हमने already discuss किया था. It is an enzyme which break down the sucrose into its monomers, which is nothing but glucose and fructose. Okay, sucrase is very common term, but the exact enzyme जो ये काम करता है उसका नाम है invertase. Please note it down, not given in your book. Invertase is an enzyme which actually break down sucrose to glucose and fructose. इतना समझा? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, good. So now there are 3 more types which are there, which you need to study, but that I will not cover today because complete nahi hoga. So that we will start or that we will complete in the next class. But till now, if you are having any doubts, any questions, any suggestions, I will be happy to know. Anything you want to ask? No? So by the way, तुम लोगों ने homework किया कल का?
Yes.
What was the homework?